Hey guys, it's Zachary from... Now, before we start, let's acknowledge this crazy hair situation I have going on right now. I don't know what it is, there's nothing we can do about it, but I have my coffee this morning, all is well in the world, so let's just move on. I'm here in my hotel room in Bangkok. It's sort of a gloomy morning, it's raining, but we're about to head out to the APAC launch of the Huawei Pura 80 series of smartphones. There are a couple of models that they are launching. There's the Pura 80 Pro. And what I have here with me is the Pura 80 Ultra. This is the flagship. Now, this is not a review. I've been playing around with this phone a couple of days and just want to talk about the camera system. This crazy nuts. I don't know why I say crazy nuts. Brain's still not working. It's probably why the hair is like that. But this sort of engineering marvel of a camera system in a phone. That's probably how best to explain this. Look at this huge camera bump, right? But we have to sort of go back to 2019 when Huawei launched the P30 Pro. There's a lot of similarities between these two devices, a lot of parallels in terms of where technology started and how it sort of evolved till today. The P30 Pro was the first phone from Huawei that sort of changed up the sensor array. So they went from an RGB sensor, red, green, blue, to a RYB sensor, red, yellow, blue, or RYYB, because it's an array. But the effect of that was a camera that was a lot more vibrant, a lot punchier in its photos. It was also very bright. It let in a lot of light. It's very sensitive, and it was a great low light camera. The P30 Pro was also the first device Huawei had that had a periscope zoom lens, which can go up to a 50 times digital zoom. I remember we were in Paris and we were trying to zoom up into the Eiffel Tower. But I sort of remember when I wrote about that phone, my title was "What's Up with This Crazy Camera?" Fast forward till today, and I can sort of see where Huawei has taken all these technologies over the years and ran wild with it. The Pura 80 Ultra also has an RYYB sensor. They've stuck with that technology, but it's now gotten a larger 1-inch sensor. It's very bright. It resolves a lot of resolution. It's very sharp, but it also has one of the industry's highest dynamic ranges. According to Huawei, it is the highest. It's 16 stops of dynamic range, and even compared with their own devices, it is 15 times better than the Pura 70 Ultra. Now, shots with the main camera, it's very bright, very sharp, and very punchy, but maybe a bit too aggressively. You won't notice this very much in well-lit shots. Everything is pretty good. I would personally turn off the master AI features and any other sort of post-processing auto detection AI stuff, because it does tend to make things slightly unnatural depending on what you shoot. Like if I were to shoot inanimate objects, scenery, landscape, seems to do fine. People are okay as well. Portrait shots and all those are great. But when it tries to shoot very colorful things, if you have something that is very varied, a pond with fishes, aquarium with lots of fishes, it tends to sort of aggressively boost those colors a bit to a point where it's slightly unnatural. And I think this also has got to do with the fact that the default tone on the main camera is very cool. It's not warm. Now, I really don't remember all the way back or what I experienced with the P30 Pro. It's way too far back. But I sort of have that feeling that it was a lot warmer on that phone. Now, again, you really won't notice this much during the day, but at night, it's quite apparent cool. Now, I'm not going to talk much about color because it just feels like most devices these days are software controlled, so this color setting can still be tuned. Like even for the iPhone, Apple does this as well. You can set camera scenes or camera filters where you can set it to be warmer or cooler or more vivid. Huawei has the same thing, like in the photo settings, they call this X-Mage. You can sort of change it. This is original. You can change it to vivid. You can change it to bright. You can have a black and white mode. Now, in vivid though, from original to vivid, it just seems like it gives it a lot more contrast. It doesn't really make it warmer in that sense. I do wish that Huawei would do something like the iPhone, where within a setting I can still control certain things to sort of adjust my default picture color to what I want, but it is what it is. I think it is way too blue. Only way to get around this is to shoot in Pro mode. I'm not saying that most phones get it right. It's just how they want to tune their color settings. And for the Pura 80 Ultra, it seems to be tuned to a very cool setting. So like white light can look blue when shot at night with the Pura 80 Ultra on the main camera. Moving on, zoom lens. Now, if you just look at the phone at a glance, you would think that the biggest circle is the main camera, because we have been talking about how it's like a 1-inch sensor and all. But no, the biggest circle is the zoom camera. And if you actually look at the circle, you will see two physical lenses in there. This is the industry's first phone that has two physical switching lenses on the same sensor. Underneath this is a 50 megapixel over 1.28-inch sensor. It's not as large as the 1-inch sensor on the main camera, but it is large enough, and it has two physical periscope lenses that will switch between them depending on the telephoto range that you're going for. Now, one of these lenses is 3.7 times zoom. It's sort of equivalent to an 83mm lens, and the other one is a 10 times zoom that's equivalent to a 200mm lens. Now, on the spec sheet, it says 9.4. I think they just want to be accurate, but in the software, in the camera itself, it goes to 3.7 and 10. Now, you can physically hear the lenses switching when you reach the zoom range. I don't know if you can hear it on the video, but let's try. This phone also uses the zoom lens for its macro shots. It's called super macro here, and I think it uses a 3.7 times lens because that's what it sort of defaults to. When it detects anything macro, like let's do a macro shot of my coffee here, right? Now, I don't have to go super close because it's using the zoom lens, and it's able to get a pretty good zoom doing that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I can't even see these bubbles looking in my cup right now. So I'm quite impressed with the zoom lens. I'm quite impressed with the macro shots on this. It is actually pretty fast. It resolves really well. It is quite sharp. And I must say that the stabilization works out pretty well as well. Both lenses have OIS stabilization to it. So, but software-wise as well, I think the phone helps you stabilize it to a point, and I think that's great. Now, I talked about the P30 Pro has a 50 times digital zoom. This has 100 times digital zoom. It goes all the way. Let's see. Let's look at something that is interesting. And of course, you get that preview window here, so with a square, so you can see where you're pointing at. It goes all the way up to 100 times, and if you notice, the digital stabilization on this is actually pretty good. I'm holding this handheld now at 100 times digital zoom, and my image is not wildly shifting about. It actually can like stabilize pretty well. Now the thing here is, if you take a photo at 100 times zoom, what you're gonna get is very, very heavy post-processing. Now, if you shoot something like buildings, if you shoot something that has clean lines, or even text, if you notice there's this 100 times zoom, I'm just handheld on my non-dominant hand while shooting this video. I'm just like anything. This is what we get. And you see this, it can actually even resolve the text on the building behind. It says PST here. You can actually see it. It is usable, but it is obviously not something you want to rely on to pixel peak. This also doesn't work that well at night, because then you have photos that end up looking a lot like watercolor paintings. When you shoot a photo and you go in the gallery, you will see what the sensor captures, what the lenses captures, and then maybe 2 or 3 seconds later, boom, it sort of switches to what the phone thinks it captured, and it's quite an interesting process to see how this works. So you do get very sharp photos within all the optical ranges on both the lenses. The super macro with the zoom is great. You no longer have to go like ridiculously close or use the ultra wide camera for that. It actually gets very, very clear, sharp shots with macro. This also works on video, but digital zoom on video only goes up to 20 times. Obviously, I mean, you're not going to get anything that's remotely usable anywhere further than that. But I've also noticed that it only uses one of the lenses when you're shooting video. Even if you move from the ultra wide camera to the main camera to the zoom camera, it just switches between the sensors. It doesn't switch between the lenses. Now, last but not least, actually last but least, is the ultra wide camera. This is a 40 megapixel camera in here, 40 megapixel sensor. It's not bad. It is comparable to most flagship devices out there. It's just that I don't really have much to say about it. And that's because when compared to the other sensors on this phone, it's kind of meh. It's to a point where I'm actually actively avoiding using the ultra wide when I'm shooting with the Pura 80 Ultra. During the day, it's fine, right? Bright light outdoors, it works pretty well. At night, the differences are quite stark. Switching between the cameras, you can instantly see the ultra wide just suddenly goes a lot darker. It's not as bright, not as punchy, not as sharp. It doesn't resolve details as well as either the main camera, which is super bright, or even the telephoto sensor, which is quite large for a telephoto sensor, and it is quite sharp. The ultra wide just, which kind of brings me to a point I want to make about phones, not specifically the Pura 80 Ultra, but also most other phone manufacturers. As phones get more advanced, as camera systems get more advanced, you get multiple sensors with multiple different physical abilities. So right out at the sensor itself, the hardware itself, you are going to get different image qualities. And brands are just not doing enough to make it a seamless experience. You know, the Pura 80 Ultra is a complete opposite of what everybody else is doing with software and AI. This is a mechanical camera components in a phone, switching lenses, periscope lenses, variable aperture. This is an amazing camera system, but without Google, yeah. Anyway, we're off. Have a nice day. See you in the next one.
And we're going